everyone, we are back to colour this Tiny's On Shelves August page from Tiny Year by Agotapop, and we've got quite a lot of little itty bits to do now really. I think, let's have a little look. It might make sense to just now move through in order rather than dotting about all over the place. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I probably might start from the bottom and move upwards though, because I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. And I'm going to sort of see how all the colours look at the end. There we go. Let's just do it like that. So our little cupcake looking, I mean, I've covered it with ice cream, but you know, it's got a cupcake case. With the window, I think I do want to do all of the windows in the same way. And I quite feel that they might be chocolate. So I've grabbed 77 from our Ergosoft. And I want quite a thick layer because it can look like shiny, I need to sharpen it, shiny sort of tempered chocolate. Delicious. I haven't had any chocolate today. I've had some cocoa, so I guess that counts. I had sprinkled a little bit of cocoa powder on my cereal. There we go. So that is our first window. I swear that bit hasn't been done, but I think it's the light. It is the light. It's tricky light in here. So there's that window. I may do the other windows, even though I said I wasn't going to do. We've got these ones. It's only a few. I think I just feel like I want to do those as well, so I remember what I'm doing. So everyone's good, I hope. Not eating too much ice cream. It depends on the weather, doesn't it? We are forecast to get some hot weather again, which I am not looking forward to at all, as you can imagine. The thing is, got really used to it being cool, like so cool that, you know, I've had a sweater on and it's August. And I think it's not that it's that cool. I think it's that in comparison to how hot it was in sort of June, it sort of feels cool. Although my mum said that her heating came on the other day. Heating in August. But it is going to get warm again. But so I'm feeling very warm at the moment. In fact, quite sticky in a while. I've been cleaning. I'm just checking for other windows, but I do feel that's it. Yeah, oh, my arm's stuck to the desk. We'll do that. Right, we have these tubes here. Now, I'm thinking maybe chocolate again. We could do them a slightly lighter colour. I like the idea that they're a hollow chocolate tube. I think that would be delicious. So I'm going to use a 76. Just so it's a little bit different to the window, not for any other reason. They both look quite good as chocolate, I always feel. But yes, I've been doing a lot today. So got up and what did I do first thing? I'm trying to remember. Oh, I just sort of cleaned the kitchen and emptied the dishwasher, sort of usual bits and bobs. These dots and the case. I'm quite liking the idea that the case could be sort of 2 shades of red. But I quite like the 25 and the 23. 25 is actually a pink. So I think I might do those two together. So start with the 25. So yes, so I did that, and then I had to pop into town. Yes, so I did, what did I do? I did dishwasher, cleaned up in the kitchen, just the counters and that, and that was it really. Then went out, popped into town, did the food shop, then came back, weeded the back garden and the front drive, then it was lunchtime, then dusted through and then vacuumed through, cleaned the bathrooms, 23 for the other stripes. So got quite a lot done, which was really good, satisfying. I'd made a few updates to my website and a few other worky bits as well, but my first proper bit of work is this recording, and it is 2:30 already. But I got lots done because tomorrow we're out all day, which is our usual cleaning day, and then we have guests on Friday, so I wanted to sort of get things starting to be good. I mean, obviously, and by Friday I'm going to need to give things a going over again. This is 80 sort of on Thursday. I'm going to make these balls look like they're silver by making them a bit dark at the bottom and then leaving some white to hopefully look like they're shining. There we go. You can do them pink if you'd rather, or purple. Now we have a window. I am tempted to do, which I am going to do, I'm going to go number 11, and I'm going to put it down quite thickly to make it look like it's really shiny, dark in there, light in there, and that could be like a boiled sweet. It's how I do my gingerbread house windows, and I just figure it might be the same sort of thing. And I don't know what it would look like inside an ice cream. But hey ho, this is my guess. Yeah, we're dotting about again, aren't we? Naughty me. There we go. I also didn't do that door frame, which I want to do in the same colour as the windows, which was 77. I'm just going to do that, and we've got a window here that I completely missed, so I'm going to do both of those. Yeah, I've still got a few jobs to do. I haven't watered the plants, the indoor plants, all the outdoor plants. We had a little bit of rain yesterday, so I'm not worrying about the outdoor ones today. But inside, I don't think I've watered the indoor plants for a month. They might be quite thirsty. They don't look droopy. This is 11. When they're thirsty, they usually look really droopy. So that's good. Right, we'll worry about the rest of that later. We'll come back down here and do... So is this house done now? We haven't done the door handle. What colour is a door handle on a waffle door? Chocolate. 76. I don't know. There we go. Now we have this here. Now I'm wondering if that's like a cone. I think it is. So I'm going to colour it like we did the other sort of cones. So I'm going to do it in a 16. Make it look like it's a ice cream in a little cone tub. You can get those sometimes. I've done that a bit hard. I'm trying to just go over those lines a bit. I'm going to show it too well. There we go. Now we've got a bottle. Now I'm thinking I'd quite like to make the bottles look like they've got some sort of sauce or syrup in them rather than just being empty or non-see-through. So I'm looking at this colour here and this, and what should we do? Let's do a dark red syrup in this one. Let's go for number 29. Now to make it look syrupy, we want a really thick colour. I'm leaving this edge because that's how it's been drawn. I'm going to do the same on the other side, like that, so it looks like it contains like a strawberry sauce. And obviously that says strawberry. There we go. Now stopper. We could do it glass like the bottle. Yeah, let's do label. I'm going to use this colour, same colour, lightly like that. Stopper and bottle. We want a... Sorry, I've got my arm, it's itching. 80. I've been finding a lot of cobwebs today, so I'm a bit like, ooh, I'm itching. I want to check there's not a spider. My son got me to get rid of a spider in his bedroom. Then when I was vacuuming in my bedroom, I knocked the curtains and a big spider came out. I got him out of the vacuum. I have to say I'm sorry for anyone who's a spider lover. Now we have this drink, and I'm thinking lemonade. So I'm going to grab my number 10 pencil, and I'm going to lightly colour in the liquid, being careful not to go over the top of the ice cubes, because although they would be covered in liquid, I think it looks a bit better if they're kept white. They look a bit more like ice cubes, in my opinion, like that. So that is that bit. And I'm going back to my grey, whoops, to draw in my glass. This is 80. And I'm just going to put a little bit like that, top and bottom, here and along there, a little bit there and there, just to sort of make it look a bit glass-like. Again, just going to ignore those ice cubes, but we've got these straws. Now, it's very tempting to do them white and red, because straws can be, but if we do that, then it's got no background, so it will just look like, excuse me, we haven't made a lot of an effort. So I'm going to use number 2 to start with, whoopsie, which is our red, although it looks quite orangey. I think it will be a good shade. I'm going to give it a sharpen and do the thinner stripes in this colour, I think, or the thicker ones. Thicker ones, changed my mind. If you want to do it the other way, it doesn't really matter. I think it looks better with it looks more real if the stripes are red, because that is what you would expect a straw to look like, but it means that we don't have to worry about colouring the white bits. I'm just guessing here. Just putting a few bits in there so it just looks like the straw's going through the water. There's a bit down there as well, I think. There we go. The water, lemonade. Right, that's that bit done. Now, we have these ice lollies. Now, we could do them in fruity colours. We could do them in chocolate. I think fruity colours is probably good. Orange. We haven't got much orange in this picture. Let's do an orange ice lolly. I do think they look a bit like they're magnums or feasts, but I think let's do them fruity. We've got so much fruit in the picture, it just sort of makes more sense. So this is 42. Okay, and this one here I'm going to do in the 42. So I'm just putting down a really thick layer of orange here, and hopefully it looks like this sort of frozen orange ice lolly. Like that. Now over the top, we wouldn't really have, I suppose we could have chocolate sauce, because orange and chocolate does go, but an orange ice lolly with chocolate sauce doesn't sound very nice to me. I'm wondering whether to just go for, yeah, I'm just going to go for a darker orange, number 4. Why not? Let's try something a bit different. I've never done this before, where I've had the same colour. Not that I've coloured that many ice lollies, but you know. So what do you call ice lollies in America? You have told me before, and I can't remember. Because I know in Australia lollies are sweets, but I'm assuming you say ice lollies still. I can't remember what everyone else said. Now, the dots, I'm going to go for another orangey shade. This is 24. Now, that colour that I did underneath, I can now see that I missed loads. So I'm going to grab it again. This is the 4. And go back over it. You may not need to do this if you've done it well and neatly the first time. But where I had to go around those dots, it wasn't particularly even or neat. There we go, that's better. This one, I'm so tempted to do it in like a dark chocolate with a lighter chocolate piping. But then I'm tempted to do this one in chocolate with biscuit, but gosh, I'm itching all over. Oof. I think I will do the centre one in chocolate. Let's do 76. Doing it quite hard. Well, quite intensely, layering up quite a lot. And then I'm trying to decide what colour to do the piping, because our lighter colour 73 isn't very chocolatey. I've got an idea. Have a think about what you would do. I am going to grab the number 10 and I'm going to do it like it's sort of white chocolate. Trying not to press too hard. I don't want it to look like lemon. There we go. Now this one I'm going to do in a strawberry type colour, hopefully, if I can get it to work. That one's more strawberry, the 29. Where are you? That's a 23. Here it is. 29. Sorry, getting a little bit confused there. 29. Give it a sharpen. Now we've got bits to get round as well. I haven't really decided. I'm thinking, would they be like little freeze-dried strawberries? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Of course, with the strawberry outside, it reminds me of what are they called? Strawberry split. I used to get those sometimes from the ice cream man. And you had like the strawberry ice lolly bit on the outside, but inside was vanilla ice cream. And they were just so difficult to eat. I always found ice lollies hard to eat anyway. My mum used to encourage me to have a cone because it was easier to eat. But even then, I would end up making quite the mess when I was very little. Just couldn't eat it quickly enough and it just melted. Now, for the freeze-dried strawberry bits, I'm wondering whether I should actually use the same colour. I think I will, and just use it really lightly. Yeah. It's quite sunny today and warm. I think I'm just warm because I've been doing things though. Now I'm going to use this colour here, the 49, for the lolly sticks. It isn't a very good lolly stick colour, but I don't have one. I'm going to use it really lightly so it just looks like a very beigey colour would. Like there. Now, this box bit I'm going to do in the light purple colour 62. We haven't used it at all because we've been colouring things that I want to look fruity and things, then we haven't used it. But because this is just our little stand, we can do it in this colour. I think it will go nicely. I feel thirsty again. I've only just had a drink. Doing too much. I'll take some water with me tomorrow, just thinking going out for the morning. Yeah. Might not have time to buy a drink. I've got a really nice water bottle. It's a Chili's, the company that make it. I treated myself. We have 2 books here. I'm thinking about doing some blue. Another colour we haven't done because food isn't blue. I don't colour blue food. So I think I'm going to do that small book in this number 63. Now, these books have got these little lines on. Now you can choose to do those in a different colour, What I try and do is make them look like they're sticking out, so they're part of the makeup of the book. So I put down a light layer and I'm going to sharpen my pencil. My first bit of shaping for my book is to make it darker on the edge here. I'm not doing this bit or this bit at the minute, and lighter towards the centre, and then the same on the other side, so it makes our book look a little bit more rounded rather than flat on the spine. You don't have to do it because not all books are rounded on the spine, but I think that's good. Then underneath here put quite a lot of shadow, and then a little bit of shadow on top, and it might just look like that bit is sticking out a little bit from your book, maybe. Okay, now we've got our toppings one. I feel like that needs to be pink. I don't know why. So I'm going to grab my 61. Is this a purpley pink? I think one that we haven't used quite as much, particularly not on this row. So again, light layer. I'm going to do it in the same way as I did the smaller one. So light layer. Doing for time 21. Just trying to work out if we're going to get this done today or not. It's very hard to know at this point. Oh, husband's running the water. He just went downstairs to sort my washing for me. He's probably making a coffee. Washing his hands. That sort of thing. There we go. And underneath with the darker bit again. There it is. Okay, now moving to our next row. This is why we need to be zoomed out. We've got this big thing here. We're going to start over here though. We've got a little pot. I think I'm going to go back to my lavender colour. I think that's what it's called, 62. Now with a rounded pot, what you want to do is make it more intense here, lots of layers, and reduce them towards the centre. And then do the opposite thing on this side. Like that. But we do have a little line on it that looks a bit like a stripe. So I'm going to grab the darker colour, the 6, and just put a little bit on there, keeping to having it a bit lighter in the middle. There we are. Now we've got a cream jug here. I'm going to do the label as if it's a little wooden label, so I'm going to grab 49 and do that, so it's the same colour as the lolly sticks, and I'm going to do the same on this little label over here as well, just to keep them the same. And I'm going to have a quick look, see if there are any more, which there aren't, so that's fine. Okay, so a cream jug, well, it could be china, it could be blue, it could be silver. I feel like we need a bit more colour over this side, so I think I am going to do it blue. I might grab this blue, a bit lighter. This is the 30. I'm even tempted to do it stripy, but I don't think I will. I'm going to do with this bit, make it a bit darker here and lighter there. On here, darker here and lighter there. Hopefully looks a bit like it's catching the light in some way. Now on the edges, want a bit more intensity, so layering up a little bit more until we start to do a bit less towards the centre. Same on that side. I know I haven't done in the ladder, we'll get there in a minute. Just trying to make it easier for myself. Do this bit easy bit first. This colour I think looks like sky, like Mediterranean sky. When you're on a holiday in Spain and it's just blue sky everywhere every day, it looks this colour. I remember my dad's joy at being able to afford to go on holiday abroad and not having to worry about British weather and rain and things like that. And you could go away and you knew it was going to be nice weather, as he would call it, you know, hot weather, really. Okay, now we have a little tin and 2 jars. This one is so cute, isn't it? I'm going to grab my lilac again. I might end up doing quite a bit of this. Here we go. 62. I'm going to use it for the main bit. Like that. Such a cute little container. It looks like a little tin to me. And then again, like I did on my plant pot, whoops, I'm going to use this 6 for the details. Now this bottle's got stars on, which is rather sweet. I'm thinking, has it got chocolate sauce in maybe? I'm just looking to see. Yeah, we can do that. I'm going to use the 76. Whoops. There it is. 76. And like with this bottle we did at the bottom, do an edge like that, and underneath just basically join up that. Now those lines could have meant what I did, or they could have meant this is where you draw in your white shine, you know, where you draw a white line to make it look like shine. But either way, this is how I've done it. There isn't really a right and a wrong way to colour a bottle. It's not the easiest thing to colour either. So just have a go, find a way that works for you, that you enjoy. It's what's really important when you're colouring, to make sure that you are enjoying it. Now the stars I'm going to do in number 16. Well, this is a little bit goldish. Just realised my microphone is slipping. So, try and clip it on a bit better. There we go. It's because I'm wearing quite a thin top. It doesn't hold it very well because it's got this little clip. You clip it to your clothes and it's slipping down. Right. All you can hear is me fiddling with pencils, sorry. Right. I think in the background to these little stars I could do a sort of blue, a darkish blue, like it's sort of a night sky, dusky sky. So I'm going to go for this 33. I think it looks a bit magical. I mean, what's not magical about chocolate sauce? Actually, I really don't like it. But hey ho, it always tastes chocolate sauce whenever. Well, there's one exception. But normally when I used to have chocolate sauce, it would just taste like it was very bitter. I'm going to do the lid to match. Like it's very bitter chocolate with really far too much sugar. I just didn't like it at all. Whereas the exception was something called Ice Magic. I think that's what it was called. 80. And I don't know if it still exists. I've got no idea. And basically you poured it onto your ice cream. It was runny, but it would set on the ice cream, and then you could eat it hard, or you could chip it up and stir it into the ice cream like you've got chocolate chips or something like that. It was really good. Now I'm thinking a light pink for this sauce. Let's go for the 20. I can hear the clatter of a bowl. My husband's eating. It was funny, at lunchtime he said, "Oh, I'm not hungry. I don't normally eat till 4 o'clock. I'm not hungry." Okay. But he had a little something, and now he's having something else. Naughty boy. A little light bit there. I might do a glass stopper, just because I did one before, or else it might look odd if I don't do another one like it. I think 80. So I'm just fading off towards the middle so that I've got a bit of white in the centre of these. There we go. Now we have our little plant pot. I'm going to do it in 6, or am I going to do it in blue? No, I'm going to do it in 6. Okay. So the little handles are so cute. There we go. And then I'm just making it more intense on the edge, not completely burnished though, because I need to come back to this. And the same here, so a bit more intense on the edge, light towards the centre. And then under this rim, put in a bit of darker colour. There we go. Now what colour's our front door? Well, we've got a lot of different colours here, but they're not very burnished, so I think we can still go for a pink or a vanilla. I don't want a vanilla door. I think we can still go for a pink without it being a problem. The only thing is I've got a heart here and I don't know what colour it is. So what I'm going to do is use the 61 because I know it isn't that. Because this is much more purpley. Is that 23, that heart? I can't remember. Now I've coloured over the handle. There we go. Now we've got little curtains blowing out of the windows. I'm going to do those in our lavender, in our 62. Keeping them quite light, and then I'm going to put in some shadow where it's drawn in. One here, haven't we? There we go. Now we've got a bit more chocolate to do up here. I'm going to grab my 77 and do, where are we? Yeah, I think I'll do the strawberry. I feel like this is a chocolate dipped strawberry. It can be done however you wish. There we go. And I feel like these two are chocolate biscuits or something. But what I'm going to do here is just do a light layer of this. Trying to fade a bit towards the middle. It's quite tricky with that icing bit. I'm going to do this one the same colour. And then it's got that little stripe on it. I'm going to do it in 76, but I'm going to layer it up a little bit more. In fact, I'm going to sharpen it first so that it looks like it's sort of piped with a bit of a chocolate sauce. There, I like that. That worked nicely. There we go. Now where are we? Well, we've got this ice cream factory which needs to be in the lavender because all our little, the one lower down which said Sweet Summer was. So this is 62, so we can just colour this in. Nice and easy. Now I've got to remember to do this piece here, which for me is a bit of cardboard wrapped around the ice cream. So I'm not sure, I might do it the same colour that we've done our little labels and lolly sticks and things. Thinking maybe. So that is the, whoopsie, that's the 49. There hasn't been much time for just yapping today, has there? Because we're swapping and swapping colours so quickly that we don't have time to yap. These dots, I think I'm going to do them in just a sort of bright red. Let's go 23 though. I'm just going to sharpen my 23. Here it is, 23. could do them in different colours if you want. You don't have to do them all the same colour. I'm just making my life easier. There we go. Now, where it says vanilla mix, I'm going to get my 10 and just do a really light vanilla-y colour on top. There we go. Simple as that. Okay, on to the top part. Now, one of our books I think should be blue. So I'm going to grab this one, which is number 3. This is quite a simple looking book, so I'm just going to colour it in. Secret recipes, I like it. Secret recipes. Why would you keep it secret? I guess if you're a company selling things, you keep your recipes secret, don't you? So your competitors can't pinch your recipe. There we go. I'm going to slightly darken the edges because of the way the book is drawn. It looks like it's supposed to be slightly rounded because this top part isn't flat. There we go. And we've got a little ribbon coming out the bottom of the book. I'm going to do that in a dark blue. I think it would match the book, 33. Put quite a few layers down so it's quite intense. It might look more like a little silk ribbon. Now this book, yeah, I'm going to go for the lavender. 62. Again, I'm just going to put down a light layer and then see where that takes us. It says with love. Oh, very sweet. So here a bit darker, just along the edge. It's quite difficult to darken this colour because it's quite a low intensity colour. And yeah, we'll just put a bit under there. And there, whoops. Now we have this sort of basket, our sort of fruit bowl, and I was thinking it looks like it might be a sort of brown, wickery, woveny, woody type thing, but I'm not really sure. But what I'm going to do is use this 49, so it's not too dark, and just have fun with it really. Basically, I'm going to start by just colouring it all, and then I'll think about where it's darker and lighter, because we've got these areas here that have been actually they've been marked out so we can see they're darker where the weaving is happening, and it's got little shadows between the different pieces, so it should be fairly easy to work out. So here I think I'm going to put a darker bit here, and then in these little gaps it should start to look a little bit three-dimensional right away, just from putting those in. There we go. And here, and then here, look, I'm going to make it darker there and there. But I'm going to do the same on this edge. I'm just going to make the edge a little bit darker, and it helps to give our bowl just a little bit more shape. But I don't want it to be as dark as these areas that I've made, you know, really dark to look shadowy. There we go. Just going to colour that in a bit. It looks a bit messy. Now we have our heart-shaped picture, and it needs a background. Let me think. We've got a lot of colours on this shelf, haven't we, already? And we've got some paper here. Maybe I should just go for a really... I know, I haven't used this colour. I really should have done. This is 43. This is our peach. And I could have used it for ice cream, really. But I sort of forgot all about it because it's not a colour I use very often. I don't know why. I use it for this paper here as well. I don't know why I don't use it very often. Now we've got our bowl here, which we mustn't forget. I don't know if I've forgotten any others. I'm suddenly thinking, have I forgotten any others? No. So with our number 80, we just put a bit of grey on each side. We can do the same with the glass and this glass, just to make it look a bit more glass-like, like there's some shadow in it. There we go. Now I have a little tray. We can do that in blue. Oops, can't get the blue out. This is 37. There we go. Now our little dotty tin, we've got, I want to do it the same as the little dotty tin that we did at the bottom, or a bit lower down. So basically it is all number 62 to start with. So I'm just going to just noticing on top we've got 2 jars of both honey. And I'm thinking, should I do them the same as each other or not? Then we have number 6, so we can do this bit. I think I will do the jars the same. They need to be the same colour because both got honey in. So that's a start. This one's milk, I just seen. Right, honey. Is it that colour? That's no, it's a little bit too orange. I'm going to use number 1. If it isn't quite orange enough, then yeah, I'm going to put another colour on top. My son is laughing. Suppose you found a funny video to watch, which was good. And I'll be... Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the top of the 11. The 11 is a little bit too orangey, but if we just add a little bit, just bring it up a notch, make it look a bit more like honey. Honey isn't really lemon colour, it's lemon curd. Delicious. Oh, so nice, lemon curd. I don't think I'd ever had homemade lemon curd though. It still looks a bit too much like lemon curd. Put another layer on. Yeah, lemon curd is used like jam / jelly, spread on bread after butter, that sort of thing, you know. I can do this label really dark with this same colour, like that. And but it's made from lemons, as you would guess, but it's quite buttery and not see-through. I don't know if it's got eggs in or something. What colour are we having these little tops on the pot? What goes with yellow? I'm going to do them orange. Oh. I'm going to use number 4. But no, I don't know how to make lemon curd. But so tasty. It's sort of rich and creamy. As I say, I think it's either got butter or egg or something in it. I don't know. Delish. Now the ties, I'm going to just do a more intensive version of this colour. I just turned my pencil until I found a nice sharp point. You could use a darker one if you want, the 24. Okay, so we need to do our jars, and we've got 80. Just doing a little bit on the edges, and our bee needs some colour. The colour in those bits of his body, quite hard, but his wings a bit lighter. Milk. I haven't done those. Milk. You can do the milk first, or else I'm just going to procrastinate and wonder what I'm doing. I think I'm going to have to do it in the 10. Again, lightly. There we go. I've probably missed loads, but I can't see, and I don't want it to be too hard. So that's that. Right. I'm going back to the grey colour, the 80. I'm going to do the sort of edge of the glass. That's that. And this bit. And this bit. And of course, milk bottles don't have stoppers. In the UK, they used to have a little foil cap. I'm going to make the label blue. This 63, but really light. Just press gently. And the foil top changed colour depending on what milk you bought. So we always just had a silver one, which was just regular whole milk. But you could get one that had red on it, and that was the skimmed, I think. We're going back to here. We've got a chocolate stick, 77. This looks like a Cadbury's finger. And then harder on the eye, that, like that. So you just use the same pencil and the flag. I want that to be pink. I'm going to use 23. It's quite a red colour actually, isn't it? But that's okay. The stick, maybe 80. Maybe. You could do it wood if you'd rather. But I don't really want a wooden stick in my ice cream. Ugh. Right, we have our letters left. I've decided what I'm doing for those. I'm going to make them look like they're made of chocolate. So I'm going to colour them in 77, so it'll be brown. You might not like that idea. You might want to do yours brighter colours. That's completely up to you. Of course. Now where it's sort of piped, I will leave it. I'll do it in a different colour. There we go. This needs sharpening. So this is very straightforward colouring here. I've sort of left the easiest bit till last really, haven't I? I haven't done our little label though. I still haven't decided what colour. I'm going to have a sort of eyeball the page and think whether it looks odd in that maybe there's too little of a certain colour, and then I can use it there. There we go. I've got to decide what to do for my next videos. I think there's 2, isn't there, until planner day. It's a little bit awkward when there's only 2 because most pages take 3 or more. So not sure whether I can find something that will just split into 2. I did have an idea for a page. I can't even remember what it was. It's good, isn't it? So I'm not sure yet. That looks like it hasn't been coloured in the vanilla-y type colour, doesn't it? But I don't know if it has or not. Can't remember back then. I can't see well enough. Never mind. It's interesting, isn't it? Chocolate. I'm thinking, you know, when it's really hot, I like a bit of chocolate. When it's really cold, I like a bit of chocolate. I just like a bit of chocolate. Whenever. It doesn't really go out of season. You know, everyone these days, people buy at Easter, they buy at Halloween, they buy at Christmas. Oh, buy it for birthdays, anniversaries. Snack. It's like massive. I wonder what country grows it. I know some of them don't get a fair wage. It's like, wow. It's such a popular thing. I guess every company wants to buy the cheapest supply so that they can keep their prices down. get more customers, although the ones I buy are actually quite expensive. I'm happy to pay a bit more, you know, for companies that look after their supply chain. This is a bit messy. My eyes beginning to go a little bit. Going around there was quite tricky. Now this video is now longer than the other two, but I made the decision that I would just get it finished because we were, you know, otherwise it would be like a 45-minute video and then one that was like 10 or something. So I thought I'd just finish it off. Now we haven't got too many bits to do. I'm going to grab the number, 10, and do these lines as if they're piped on with white chocolate. Step 1, and that little bit there that I couldn't tell, still can't tell. The sprinkles are going to be in red, I think. No, pink. Pink. Red might not show up. Here it is, 20. Quite hard to colour that neatly. Looks quite messy. I might come back in there in a minute. Yeah, I can't remember which colour I used. 76, isn't it? Yeah, 76. I'm just gonna, basically to tidy it up, I'm looking really carefully and I'm seeing areas that I've missed and just colouring over them. Hopefully it looks a bit neater when I'm done. There we go. Now we've got a couple of things left. I'm going to go back to my 20 and sharpen it because a couple of the circles on there didn't get coloured and I think I missed them because I didn't have a sharp enough point. There we go. Now we have a glass to do. This one here with our 80. A bit of white somewhere in the middle. And here leave it in the centre as well, just fade it into the middle. Easy. And then we've got a case. I'm thinking purples. So I'm going to start with this darker one, 6, but I'm not going to press mega hard because the lettering is supposed to be what's standing out, isn't it? Like that. And then the 62, oops, sorry I knocked the tripod there. The other one. And I just realised that all our signage is in this colour, so we need to do this sign in this colour too. I should have been umming and ahhing. There's a logic. And actually the fact that this colour goes quite well with orange is rather good. It could be easy to colour it that way. There we go. And there's a little pin holding it up which we need to colour. And then I need to have a good look and see what I've missed. Which, there we go. That was 80 by the way. Now I'm having a look. No, I don't think I've missed anything. The only thing is on this ice cream we've got dots and they haven't been, they're just the colour of the ice cream. So I'm going to just colour those in. And I'm going to use the 29. And then I'm going to get a white pen and do a few lines and dots, but I'm going to have to come out a bit to show you. There we go. Oops, I'm just grabbing my Jelly Roll 10. Now, thinking about what's going to have some shine, what's going to want some dots. So put a little bit of shine on the edge of my orange there and there. You need to put it on the darkest bit or else it won't show up. I'm going to put some dots on my flower and then a few bits on the lettering. I haven't burnished it enough really. I'm just going to scribble with my pen to get it working. Excuse me. That made it worse. Come on, pen. Oh, it's not flowing at all now. Maybe it's run out. One more try. Oh, that worked. Now on here, I'm just going to put a bit on there. Then on the cherries. Now, I'm going to go across to cherries to do it on there, and then on all of this fruit, apart from the bananas. They aren't normally very shiny. There we go, and on the books. Now, itchy eye. We've got the strawberry, and on its chocolate there. I could put a little bit on here. So just stop working again. Come on, pen. I don't know if it's clogged or if it's just old. Bit there. And then all these cherries need a little bit. I don't think I'm going to worry about those ice creams having anything because they won't be shiny. And then down here I'm going to put a little bit on this ice lolly. And this one. Whoops. Come on, pen. They're fighting, aren't they? This pen. A little bit on these dribbles. I don't think we need any there. Maybe a bit here. This bottle. Blueberries perhaps. Might like a little bit. But I think we are there. There we go. There is our completed page. So thank you very much for watching. Hope that you have a really super day and happy colouring.